Go.
Oi, and welcome to the Derp channel. My name is Skeeter, and over there is Derp, and we are here to review the next set of episodes for One Piece, which we will start by talking about the infamous filler episode. The one with Goku in it, that's right.
Goku
Now-
and Toriko.
Yes, Toriko. I tried, it's part 2 of this infamous awesome team up that they have, and apparently the first episode is in the 99th episode of Toriko. I tried looking that up, and I found the show Toriko, and they have all the episodes except for 99, which is very disappointing. So at least we got to see part 2 and get to see Goku and Luffy team up. That's pretty fun. I did have to watch it twice, once in Japanese and once in English, because as we all know, the voice of Piccolo and Zoro is the same person, same voice, and the voices of Krillin and Usopp are the same voice actor.
Same thing with the guy that voices Piccolo and he also
Piccolo,
voices
yeah.
Vegeta. Yeah.
Wait, what about Vegeta now?
Christopher Sabat also voices Piccolo and Vegeta from Dragon Ball.
Oh, okay. And we got Zoro with that too, so it's cool to see that crossover. There wasn't a whole lot of talking. I was looking for it, but Krillin talked a little bit, and Usopp talked a little bit. I didn't hear Zoro say anything, but Piccolo said stuff.
That's
It was
because
unfortunate that there was no
Zoro
like interaction, unless it was in the first one.
Zoro and Vegeta you don't see till the very end.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is part 2, so I assume like they all gathered and they all looked at each other and were just like, okay, let's all fight.
Because the whole time they keep wondering, hey, where's Vegeta? Where's Zoro?
Exactly.
They're off fighting the whole episode.
Yep. I wish there was a way to see the first one, just to know how they got to that area. It was like some kind of a race for food, and there was a 3-way tie, and they all like fought each other, and then of course Mr. Satan wins.
Essentially, what Toriko is about I've never seen it, but I think the main character just hunting like animals and such and then eating them, if I remember right. I've never seen it, but
Yeah, and it was some like weird alien from the deep ocean that just consumes everything, and if its tentacles touch you, you lose all your energy, and you have to eat it within half an hour, otherwise you die. It's supposed to taste.
Christopher Sabat also voices somebody in Toriko, but I don't know if we saw that character. Because it wasn't Zebra Man, the one that they're fighting.
I wouldn't know.
It would have been funny if he voiced all the characters he voiced from each were fighting each other.
Yeah, I would have loved to have them all talk to each other and be like, "Hey, you sound just like me. Stop it." that kind of stuff.
Toriko is a gourmet hunter searching for the most precious foods in the world so he can create his full course meal. That's basically the plot of Toriko.
Oh, okay. He has to hunt him down using his fists of. Said it was like nail fist, 36 nail fist or something. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. But it's one of those things. It's like a cool idea, but it's also like lame because they don't do anything. Everything has to be equalized. Each of the main characters has to have a line, and they have to do something. And then each of the side characters has to have a line and then do something, fighting the same stuff. It was cool to see, like, Trunks and Goten, though, do their fusion. I was like, oh yeah, fusion. Fusion. Ha! Cool. All right, well, on to the fun stuff. So this is the first part of the Punk Hazard arc. So, let's start it off. Ooh, wait, where's my other notebook? Oh, crap. Oh, okay, there we go. Started off, they're sailing along in the New World. And they get an SOS call. And this SOS call, there's like a message on it. And some guy's like, help me, boss. The samurai is attacking. Hey, boss. Boss, help me. And that's all they find out. And then immediately Nico Robin is like, no, we should just ignore it. It's probably a trap. Like, half of all SOS calls are traps by the Marines to, lure you in. And they're probably listening onto it. And, of course, Luffy picks up the phone, and he says, I'm Monkey D. Luffy. I'm going to be the king of the pirates. So there's that. So he kind of, like, does the opposite of what he's told, which is, normal.
For Luffy, yeah.
For Luffy, yep. He did the same thing with Big Mom. Hello, I'm Luffy. I'm gonna be king of the pirates. What? Huh? I'm gonna find the One Piece. Yep. Oh, cool. So, anyways, we're introduced to Punk Hazard, and immediately they go upon like a sea of fire. The sea is literally on fire. Everybody's confused, and they're like, well, they mentioned snow, but this is the direction that we kind of are in, and it's probably on this island somewhere. But excuse me, let's go explore. So they all draw straws, of course, and Luffy, Zoro, Robin, and Usopp go ashore, and they encounter a talking dragon. And immediately they're running through this land of fire, and they attack this dragon and eat it. And it tastes delicious. And they're having a great time, especially Luffy, who eats pretty much all of the dragon. And they find on the dragon some legs, and Luffy is like, ooh, look, talking legs. And he puts it on his, like, he goes to chase it, and he gets stuck to his back. So now he's like a centaur. And they see like ice and fire in the sky, so they don't know, like, or Nami does. She's the one that notices it, and she also creates a really cool pathway. What is it called? The Milky Road, she calls it. So it's a path that, like in Skypiea, she makes a cloud path that goes over the flames so they can get to the island. I thought that was fun. And apparently some like incident happened 4 years ago on Punk Hazard. They just don't know what it is yet. But we will find out in 3 seconds. So we find that there was a chemical weapon attack. Oh, my bad. Hold on. All right, cool. All right, so 4 years ago, there was apparently a chemical weapon attack. Something exploded, and the island was uninhabitable. Now, this time, like, we don't know, like, what caused it, what is it, but we can speculate on it. It's probably an accident. I mean, nobody just drops a bomb like that, right? On an island? Because apparently it was like Dr. like Vegapunk's like a marine base. So it must have been an accident or something. Nothing? Okay. Okay, so they're all split up, and while the party going to shore, there's like a gas attack on the ship. Everybody gets knocked out, including Brooke, and they all wake up. There's these guys in like suits, like ventilation suits or whatever, and they kidnap them and take them back, put them in a room, and they find a head in there, and they put it together, and they're like, "Oh, look, this guy's a samurai, and he's just a head," and they're freaking out because it's tough to them, and they don't is, and then immediately Frankie uses his radical beam to break down the door, and the master or whatever, we see a gaseous form of this master, and they're like, they broke down the unpenetrable door. Huh, well, that's interesting. So that was convenient that Frankie got kidnapped. Anyways, the head keeps saying he's here to rescue his son, Mononoke, or Momo. What's his son's name? He says, "I'm here to rescue my son." Now I forget how to say his name. Momonosuke. There we go. What was I? Oh, right. Meanwhile, Luffy meets the legs, and we talked about that, and he becomes a centaur, quote-unquote centaur, and he meets a new friend. This friend is also a centaur, and he notices Luffy being a centaur. He's like, "Oh, you must be new. Well, welcome." And they start, like, having fun by racing up a hill, or up a building. And immediately, this guy named Hayo Toros is told, like, "Oh no, they're the intruders on the island," and he immediately attacks Luffy, like, "Oh my god, what's happening?" Blah blah blah. And at the same time, this is going on. A smoker approaches, and he is going towards Punk Hazard, right? Because he, Tashigi and Smoker heard the SOS call, and they heard Luffy answering the phone because they were, of course, eavesdropping on it with a black transponder snail. And they're like, "All right, we're gonna go to this island and see if we can capture Luffy because that's his goal, right?" So he's approaching, and he finds a pathway or river, and immediately smoke or there's gas that's released, and everybody's freaking out. They're like, "Oh my god, there's gas on this island. It's uninhabitable." And he's like, "Yeah, right. Shut up." Even though he's like made of gas himself, right? And lastly, for this part of it, we find that Punk Hazard was the site for Aokiji's and Akainu's duel. So you had fire and ice. A giant battle that lasted for 10 days, which made Akainu was the victor. So that's that. I thought that was really awesome. What do you think?
Yeah. Just after seeing the whole aftermath and just how it basically warped the whole island.
Yeah. Especially these forces continuing to like burn and freeze. Like, because this fight happened 2 years ago. You just think about that. How powerful these two admirals are. And also, it created like a crater in the middle, like a like a lake in the middle, and now like new sea life is there, and it's a whole new ecosystem, and it's freaking nuts. Like how this fire is still able to burn, even burning the sea. Like how do you like how? Whew. Okay, well, excuse me. Anyways, that yeah, think about that, guys. Part two is we're gonna get into it right now. So this I had to like change up my notes a little bit because there's like 3 different parties doing stuff. We have Luffy's party and we have Nami's party, and then Brook is kind of doing his own. So one of the things I forgot to mention is that when the people were kidnapped, they saw Brook and thought he was just dead because he's just bones, and they just kind of let him go, and then until he came alive and then escaped, and he was trying to find them, and he's doing his own thing. He's yeah, whatever. Anyways, so Luffy and Luffy, Zoro, Robin, and Usopp, they find the lake, and they're like, oh, that stress call came from the icy side, so let's get to the icy side. And Usopp makes a banana boat and some oars from his pop green, which is really cool. They get in the boat, and Luffy continuously does not row, and Usopp gets pissed at this, which is hilarious. Anyways, so they eventually make it across the lake, and they see the boss, which turns out to be Brownbeard, and Brownbeard, who has who would said on the screen thing like former pirate, bounty of 80,060,000. Now, we can only speculate why it's not just 80 million and it's 60,000, because I'm pretty sure in a previous episode we saw like Brownbeard, and it showed like right after the war, or what was the name? Whitebeard died. He kind of took over this place. Let's see. Looking in my notes. Mermaid Cove, Ocean Trench.
His crew took over Food Velton.
What's that?
His crew took over Food Velton.
Yeah.
Then he and Basil Hawkins fought.
Sorry, say that again?
But then he and Basil fought.
Oh, right. He got defeated by Basil Hawkins, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. And so that's when he, well, later we'll learn about his story. But no, I suppose we could say right now, he tells us, this is kind of too early, but he tells us how he works for the master, basically, and he lost his legs to Basil Hawkins, and he came, his entire crew was killed, comes to this island, doesn't have any legs, and the master gave him legs, basically, and he has alligator legs. So, that was easy. Anyways, we can only speculate what the 60,000 was. Maybe it was just petty crime, it's kind of weird. It's usually a whole number, like the entire thing. But
it just says at least. It doesn't say like that's for sure. At least on Wikipedia, it says at least 80,000
okay.
or 80,060,000.
Yeah, that's probably what it was last or whatever. Anyways, let's move on. But so we see Mr. Brownbeard, and he's like, oh my god, those are the intruders. They start shooting at him, and then they realize the Straw Hats are like, oh crap, the Straw Hats. We're scared of you. And this whole time, like they're like gotta keep up. They're trying to keep them in the water basically, which is actually really smart. And they start shooting the water to try to flip the boat over because they have some devil fruit users. It's really cold, but in the end, Brooks comes out of nowhere and saves their asses. And they tie up Brownbeard and they force him to come with them. To be like, hey, bring us to the lab or whatever. And they steal their coats. They steal their coats because they're cold. They weren't ready for it. It's this band of all these centaur like people, all these former pirates that now have like legs and stuff. So that's why they love the master. Anyways, meanwhile this is going on with Smoker. He is going to the river, and he finds the river, and he eventually sees part of a lab. Nami's group they have now fully escaped the room, and as they're running through this lab where they don't know where the hell they're going, they're being chased by these goons or whatever, the guards, whatever they're called. Did they have a name? I don't think they have a name. They're just working for the master.
Goons. I don't know.
Goons, yeah. Yeah, the master's goons. They're chasing them. They go and they find this room. It's called the Biscuit Room. And there's a crap ton of children in there. And they're just running. And these children are like, hey, we're here. And they're like, why are you children here? They're like, we're all diseased and we're being treated. And they're like, that's weird. The guards come in and they're like, crap, we're gonna run. And the guards like aren't supposed to shoot the kids because it's bad. And they're like, and one of them's like, well, fuck it. We don't want them to get away. So like their strategy was that, but then Nabi is like stops everything. He's like, so one of the kids is like, yep, we're helping the kids. And immediately Sanji's like, oh, Nami wants to help the kids. I'm gonna help the kids. And he like point blank tells the kids, I'm only helping you because Nami wants to help you. Otherwise, I will leave you behind. Hero of the day. Well, he's not a hero. Anyways, where are we? Oh yeah, the two quotes that are said. One of the kids says, they mentioned the ones. Are you guys the ones who got frozen, thinking that they were unfrozen people, and the Straw Hats are like super confused. And then Nami says, "Let's help the kids," but it's not like oh hey, this is a joyous thing. Like it's just like a very serious thing. She said another quote that I found was kind of significant, but not enough to write down. But anyways, they decided to help the kids, and all the kids are coming with them. And they're like, hey, let's go outside. And they go out to the ice cold. Nobody has jackets or anything. Very hilarious. Anyways, this leads to the next part, where we see Trafalgar Law. This surprised the hell out of me. It's like, okay, first of all, why is Trafalgar? I have so many questions. Why is Trafalgar Law there? Why is he working with this maniac? And we also learned that he's now a warlord for the world government. And his bounty was 440 million berry. And we got a quick story of how he became a warlord. What he did. Do you remember?
No.
Oh, okay. What he did is he used his power and he delivered 100 beating hearts to the Marine. 100 pirate hearts, basically. And he is known as the, was it Operator of Death? Surgeon of Death, that's what it was. Surgeon of Death. And during this fight, Smoker is mentioning, Smoker's there, he knocks on the door, Trafalgar Law answers it, and he's like, oh, hey, how's it going, Smoker? He's like, hey, you're not supposed to be here. And Trafalgar's like, you're not supposed to be here either. And he's like, oh, right. But I need to come in. I'm here to check on something. He's like, nope, this is my vacation home. You can't do anything. And this is the best part. Like as they're talking, Nami's group and all the children are running towards the door, and Smoker's like, "Huh, you got some children there." And Trafalgar's Law is like, "Oh, about that? Yeah, I didn't know there was children here." Like, totally got red-handed and still trying to lie about it. So they start fighting, of course. And let's see, I talked about that already. The door. Yeah, the door interaction just alone was just hilarious. Seeing these two badasses, Smoker and Law, just going at it and just having their philosophical debate, like, why are you here? Why do you need to be here? And we don't know why he's there. He mentions a little later that he's looking for something, and that was his deal with the master to stay there. We learned that a little bit later, but I think it's that in the next couple episodes because I've seen a little bit. Anyways, so that's fun, and then we get to see some of his cool attacks versus Smoker. Like we get to see his actual him in fighting mode because we saw him last on the Sabaody archipelago, and his attacks were cool, but we still didn't understand. But now they're a little more advanced, if you know what I mean. So we get to see this one called Gambles. He basically, what he does is he switches all the bodies of people. So he switched all of that group: Nami, Sanji, Chopper, and Frankie. They switched bodies, and they don't know what's going on. And we also get a one called Scan. And Scan was a thing where I thought it was like, oh, scanning to see for weaknesses. No, but he basically just stole a transponder snail from Smoker so he couldn't get a message out to say, oh, someone's here on this island that nobody's supposed to be here. Supposed to be in the hush hush. And the last one he used on Smoker was called an attack called Scalpel. And what he did was he removed Smoker's heart. And it's totally fine. Still able to, like, beat and stuff. But if you have someone's heart, you're pretty much in control of them. Yeah, you can't mess with nobody if they've stolen your heart. It's just logical. And it's like, and we'll also learn about his Devil Fruit powers called Operation Fruit. And he's able to, in his room, he casts like a spherical room thing, and in that he can basically slice and dice anything he wants, and it doesn't die, but he can like he can turn them into a puzzle. So what he also did was took their ship, put it in the room, and cut it in half and turned it upside down, and after being in the room, it fell, and he was able to stack different things. He can have fun with whatever he wants. It's a very powerful beat. And during his room thing, Tashigi also got cut in half, and she's like mad because Smoker's heart got stolen, and she's like, I'm gonna defeat you, and then Smoker's like, you need to run away, you stupid idiot. Meanwhile, after they had their bodies switched, also what happens is he switches Tashigi's body and Smoker's body, so that's fun. And then the kids keep running. They go in a different direction because they don't want to get involved in this fight. And we learn that the head thing, the samurai head, he has a devil fruit power. He's just like, yeah, I can make disguises. So he can make coats out of like inanimate objects, and so now everybody can be warm. That's convenient. Also, during that Smoker and Trafalgar Law fight, Luffy comes through and he's like, "Oh, hey, Law, thanks for everything." Even though he just like attacked other members of his crew, but he didn't know that. And he just like passing through. He's like, "Oh yeah, whatever. You guys do your fight, and I'll just keep running around." So that's fun. Uh, let's see. During this, we were also introduced to another character. Her name is Monet. She is like a bird or something, like half a bird. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, and then after it's like after all this, the Straw Hats reunite and like outside in some cave, and they're like, "Hey, we're all together! Whoa!" And immediately it's funny because they split off and then they come back. So okay, we need to talk about this. What's his name again? Ito. What's his name, Mr.
Ichiro Oda.
Oda? That's right, Ichiro Oda, Mr. Oda. Yeah, these things are really complicated. I don't know how you like the organizational skills to like pull all this off, but like writing notes for this is very difficult. Trying to keep this all like in perspective, like in front of you, it's very hard. But it's also fun to watch what you're doing. So keep doing it, please. But
just end the series already.
Yeah, I'm just not used to this. Like everyone, this group is doing this group is doing this group is doing this. So like chronologically, it's hard to talk about because things are happening all at the same time, but separately. So that's trying to talk about it and review it. That can be hard, but I'm enjoying it. Anyways, so the last part we're going to talk about has to do with there's a mysterious CC that they see on transponder snails. Smoker immediately sees the CC and goes, "Oh, that's Caesar Clown. He was one of Vegapunk's assistants," and blah blah blah. We get some history with that, and we'll talk about that right now. So Caesar Clown is Dr. Vegapunk's former assistant, and during this confrontation with Smoker and Trafalgar Law, I think it was Caesar Clown that was talking about it, but they were talking about the worst generation, and this is like they're talking about the 11 rookies plus Blackbeard who are on the Saboti archipelago, and how this new generation started a new era basically, and how they're just causing lots and lots of havoc all over the new world, and people are having trouble with them, especially during this power vacuum time. So 11 rookies, Luffy is one of them, and yeah, that's where they call the worst generation. Anyways, so Caesar Clown, he's not a particularly good person. However, his men, especially the Centaur people, love him. They call him Master, and they're like, "Oh, you're a saver," blah blah blah. So I think this was this the part where Black, yeah, Black was like tied up in chains, and he was saying, "Oh, how the Master is great" and stuff like that, and to one group, while like Smoker and Tashigi are talking about Caesar and like what he's actually doing. He's not a good person. Yep. So like we find that Caesar Clown was the person that was behind the explosion that happened 4 years ago on this island. It was Punk Hazard was a beautiful place, like full of life. But and like there was like a marine lab here. It was Dr. Vegapunk that was in charge, and they were doing actual like experiments, like unethical experiments on prisoners, on the pirates that were there. Instead of going to Impel Down and being tortured. God damn. So during the explosion, 2 of the 3 labs exploded. So there's 1 functional lab. And where they're hiding is part of one of the destroyed labs. And what the quote unquote master did, or Caesar Clown did, was he helped people without legs to walk again. He had like some other device, like a floating device that helped him. And then Trafalgar Law came around, and with his power, he was able to take the bottom portions of animals and put them on human torsos. So all those people are now able to walk again, and they love the master. So that was cool. Anyways, First Generations, EH History. Okay, cool. Prisoners New Legs, talked about that. CC caused the explosion. Wow, we're getting through this pretty quick. We're almost done, guys. We're almost done. But now we're going to talk about the fun thing. Do you know what the fun thing is? What do all children love, Mr. Derv?
Sleep time.
That is also true.
Candy.
But what they love more, exactly, you got it. You know where I was going with this. They love candy, especially the HC10 drug, which is highly addictive. And when it was like the kids and all the Straw Hats are there, learning about how great the master is. What happens is we learn about this drug, and where does that? Yeah, there it is. It's a highly addictive drug, and what it was meant to do, and what they found was that they were trying to do experiments on making giants, basically. So you have to work with kids, and the world government has been trying to do this for hundreds of years. And Caesar Clown, in order to keep the kids there, he gives them a highly addictive drug. So like even if they want to go home, eventually they'll need a fix. So they'll come to get the quote unquote candy. And it's a candy that's just described as you put it in your mouth and smoke comes out of it. It's like a fun candy, But these kids are starting to go through withdrawals, and Chopper looks into it, and he finds out, oh crap, he takes sweat samples or whatever. He finds out what kind of drug it is, and he's like, yeah, we're not going to give you any candy. And these kids start doing temper tantrums, and Usopp is there, and he quickly thinks on his feet. He's like, all right, I'm going to attack them. People are like, no, don't attack them. He's like, yeah, I know. God, I'm not going to attack kids. He does his special attack sleep star, and it's sleeping gas, basically. So they all fall asleep. And oh, sweet, you put them down. That's good parenting right there. Get them some sleeping gas. And we still don't know what Trafalgar Law is looking for. We learn a little bit about kind of why he's there. I think he's with them at this point, and he's with Luffy's group, and they're talking, and he's like, yeah, I came here for something, and I made a deal with the Caesar Clown to stay here and go wherever I want, and Caesar Clown gets. He does one of the most horrific things I've ever seen. This gets like really dark. So one of the soldiers, the Centaur soldiers, comes to Caesar, and he said, "Oh my God, we got attacked. You need to help Brownbeard. He got captured." And Caesar's like, "Oh yeah, I'll do that, but I need to make sure that you're doing okay. So I'm in this room." And what he does this like experimental drug on this guy who's like hurt, and he's like, "Oh, how are you feeling?" He's like, it hurts. Oh, are you sure? And like it's like, master, like he loves Master. He loves Caesar Clown, and it's a feeling of, you know, he's crying and he's feeling betrayed and he doesn't know what's happening, and he thought, you know, Master was trying to help him, and he basically uses him as cannon fodder in one of his experiments with this new drug. So he's dead. And then, you know, he calls upon these people called the Yeti Cool Brothers, who nobody sees their face, by the way. Rock and Scotch, and they are sent to kill Brownbeard and the other Straw Hats, as, you know, they're assassins. And Brownbeard, this whole time, he's just like, oh, he's gonna come. Caesar's gonna come save me. He's gonna come save me. He loves me. And the Cool Brothers tragically go there, and they're like, oh yeah, Caesar told us to kill you. And he's like, what? No, that can't be true. He's like, yep. They're like giant. They're giants, and they have like Yeti feet or something like that. And so they shoot Brownbeard, and they just point blank shoot him as he's tied up. He's like, you're not gonna help me? Nope, you failed. He doesn't want you anymore. Seeing Caesar's horrible side. And then I think this is the point where Nami gets captured. Nami's in Frankie's body, and at this point, Smoker devises a plan to try to grab a ship, and his people start getting ambushed as they're trying to get to the ship. But that is the end of episode 592. So it gets really dark, which I love how dark it gets and real it gets. It makes you really want to hate the evil villain. You see how evil he actually is. What things that I didn't mention is during one of the conversations that Caesar had was they mentioned some names. One of them was Foxfire Kinemon and Joker, and it's like they don't know what is happening. We don't know what these names are, who these people are. We will, I assume, eventually. But those are some interesting names. But yeah, it gets super dark. It's this villain guy. He's this Caesar clown. Like, he pretends to be good, and, you know, I'm gonna give you some candy, kids, and realize it's all manipulation and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go over some notes here to see if I missed anything. I don't think I did. Did you have anything?
No.
Mr. Derb?
Nope.
Oh, cool. So, well, that's our review of it. Kind of going over some of the bigger stuff. What was our time? Was it half an hour?
45 minutes.
45 minutes? God damn, son. Still doing it too long. Well, still experimenting. I tried a different note. Like, I wrote my usual notes, and then on a separate sheet of paper, I tried to, like, make it more clear as to, especially when they split up and seeing what they're doing. But it was a little better. It made it a little easier, but we'll try to keep it short. Apologize for that. Also, by the way, me and Derb are also involved in a One Piece D&D campaign. And while we were waiting to play, we were waiting for another player. We played this thing on Discord called, what was it called again? Survive the AI or something like that. And it was freaking hilarious. Like, you're in a death scenario, something bad is about to happen. You have to try to survive by typing in a response of how you react to the scenario. I had one where you're in a desert and 800 Praetorian guards throw magic dust at you, And my response was, "Oh, I throw a net that captures dust and yell boo, and somehow I survived." It's just an AI responding to an AI determines like how you if you survive or not. So it's really fun. It makes your creative muscles work, which is great. Um, I'm trying to is exercise the right word? No, I don't think so. I don't know. Growing up, I was always really did a lot of left brain things. Creative stuff was very hard for me. So I'm, playing D&D and um, especially getting inspiration from One Piece really helps with your creative juices because of the what's his name again? Oda. I think I got it right, right?
Not the first time, but the second time, yeah.
Yeah, I got it right. I'm correcting myself. Mr. Oda. I don't know how he does it. Like you keep watching the show and you're like, God damn. Like everything is just so detailed. It's not perfect. And I wouldn't want it to be perfect. But like the mystery and the intrigue and the different characters and their different quirks and how they interact with each other and the philosophical stuff and the battle stuff and just these this worlds he creates. He's just one of those creative people that loves. You can tell he loves what he's doing. I know I've said that before, but I'm enjoying it so far. Um, 600 episodes plus in, or no, sorry, where were we at? But almost 600 episodes in, and I'm getting. I'm gonna be honest, like I'm getting a little uh, tired of it. Uh, just in the sense like it's a lot because we're still only halfway. We're only in 2013. And it makes you go like, oh crap, there's 11 more years to go. No, 12 more years to go. God damn it. It makes you think like, how long have we been doing this? Like, I don't think I wrote a date down for our first time we did it, but
In all actuality, it's actually only. If you go by Netflix standard, it is. Like 4 more seasons, and then we'd get to where they're currently coming out with more.
okay.
Because we'd have the included in the current Punk Hazard, Dressrosa, Big Whole Cake Island, Wano, and then we'd get to what they're currently coming out with. Egghead Arc is what it's called.
Okay.
Wano is the longest arc so far.
Guano. I love guano.
Over 180 episodes.
That's it. Oh, shit. But yeah, no, it's a great show. It's just Super Bowl tomorrow, or no, 2 days from now.
Sunday. Yep.
Yep. And see what happens. See what happens. But I don't know when we're reviewing next.
My
Depends
guess
on when
is probably Tuesday.
Tuesday, today's Friday. Yeah, I could probably do it by Tuesday.
Monday
I'll
or
let you know.
Tuesday.
Yeah, or Tuesday. Because we have it's not D&D on Tuesday, correct?
No.
Okay. So yeah. What is it?
We will do And
What are we
they're
doing?
now Pokemon on Wednesday.
Pokemon Wednesday. But I feel like there was something we were going to do on Tuesday. Huh. My brain needs a shot, I guess.
I work, so
That makes sense. I remember work.
you haven't done it in a year or two.
3. Coming on 4. That isn't to say that I haven't. Oh no, 2022. Yeah. So that doesn't say I haven't been doing nothing, but I have a different kind of job, if that makes sense.
Getting better.
Are we still streaming?
Yep.
Oh, okay. We can probably edit it. Sorry, editor. Yeah, we kind of went overboard. You just said